Nappi is an indigenous village of Makushi Amerindians in the Upper Takatu, Upper Essequibo region of Guyana. It is located in the Rupununi Savannah along the Nappi and Maipaima creeks on the edge of the Kunuku Mountains. The village was first started by two pioneers, Nabi and Kunuku, who came from the Rio Negro in Brazil around 1800. They settled in the forest along the mountain range. After, others followed and settled in the community. The community has a population of 652 persons and 109 households. The BIT training program is not a favor to participants, but it is government's way of fulfilling its promise of providing competent service to citizens. These sentiments were expressed by Minister of Labour, Joseph Hamilton, who has been pushing for citizens in indigenous communities to be trained, as it will earn them a living and enable some to venture out on their own and develop businesses. Minister of Labour has embarked on an aggressive training program through the Board of Industrial Training. Today here in Nappi, we talked to several ladies who would have benefited from the garment construction course. Let's learn more. So I'm talking with Josephine Quartz. So Josephine, you're doing garment construction. Tell me a little bit about the course.
The course is going on good. I started and I'm still continuing with the training. I'm glad I'm in the course. I'm glad I'm in the program.
So Rosalie, you're doing garment construction. Is it the first time you actually operated a sewing machine, or you had an interest in sewing before?
No, sir. I never. This is my first time.
Okay. So how is the course going? You're learning a lot. Are the tutors, the information that they're giving, are you catching on quickly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So how much longer do you have before you actually complete the course?
Well, this weekend, this is the last week we are going.
Okay. So these sewing machines and stuff that you have here, how did you all acquire them?
Well, this motion was bought through the BIT program.
BIT program?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you finish with garment construction, you plan on doing any other courses?
On my own. I trying to go on my own. Try to get my own machine, my own materials, and continue with what I learned.
We're here with Cornelia David. Tell me a bit about your course that you're taking through the BIT program.
First, when I came to interview with Indira, I chose sewing because I wanted to learn more, and I'm always interested in sewing.
Okay. What are you working on now?
Well, here I'm sewing a graduation skirt for myself. I did not finish it.
So you're sewing your graduation skirt for your garment construction course?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you plan on doing any other courses through BIT?
Yeah, I'm planning to do catering if the BIT program continues. I'm interested in catering.
These are the things what I taught them.
Mm-hmm.
I am the teacher for them, and this is what the little knowledge I have. These bags, these masks, this is bed sheets, this is aprons, pants, school uniforms. This is the nursery.
Nursery school pants?
Yes,
Okay,
and
okay.
these are the pillowcases.
Let's have a look at the design. Oh, this is really nice. Let's turn it around for the camera. All right, and what else we have there?
Here is a little of fabric painting.
Okay.
I think it is like this.
Right. Wow, who did this design?
It's Bernadette.
Bernadette.
Yeah, Bernadette.
All right. I see you have some crocheted stuff there. What are these here used for? Plate mats. Okay. So all this stuff will be on display at your graduation.
Yes.
So I'm talking to Agatha Lewis, one of the participants of the catering course through the BIT program. So I'm here today, you're under the BENAB doing some mathematics. How does that actually fall into the catering thing? Tell me about that.
It help us to plan out our we how to include the way we to sell our stuff then, right? How to sell it, how we get our market, if we're doing on a profit or loss business, and if you're doing a good job. Yes.
So you go through this here to help you with the marketing side of the catering course. When do you actually get into the kitchen and do things like that?
We normally do it in the afternoons after 1 to 4, but due to our maths classes less timing, so we have to catch up on our mathematics.
So you as an individual, how do you feel about taking part in this program?
I feel fortunate and I like doing it with our local teachers, and he's really good in mathematics, giving us each details, and I think we all learn every section what he's teaching.
So Junior Shavir, tell me a little bit about the class that you're taking here now, the catering course.
Yeah, it's good, no? Because sometimes that would be beneficial to us because the mathematics, business, whatever we're going through, we are good course.
So give me an idea of some of the stuff you learned so far in relation to the course.
Well, the practical from the catering practical, learn some baking some cake, doing some fry rice and so. I would like to continue more, but then currently it's going to an end, so we are actually.
So if the BIT program comes back to the community, what other course you might be interested in?
Garment construction, surely, because as I don't go into the catering now, yes, and the other opportunity would come agro processing, or either it be mechanics or whatever. I would actually go into one once I am interested to it, and yes, I would go to it. Yeah.
Are you happy that government is actually bringing these programs right into your village, so you probably don't have to travel to Letem to probably learn or take these courses?
Yes, there's a plus for us because why? Because sometimes people come from out to the village, and next thing I would say they wouldn't be satisfied with how much students or whoever interested in get like 2, 3. So the people itself out here now, it would be good for us because it's more near as well too. We can't really, the financial problem is all around place, and next thing we gotta go far. Yeah.
So Vanessa, you're doing catering. Tell me a bit about the course and what you've learned so far.
Well, I've learned a lot, which I wanted to learn more about baking and making food, and I've learned to make like cake, like food like Chinese rice, fried rice chicken. Yes, so I've learned a lot.
All right, so today I came in, you were in a class. Tell me a bit about the class you just got out of.
Oh, well, we're doing maths classes to help us in our catering, Well, it helps us a lot to do, especially when you weigh in your flour. You have to know how much pounds you have to put in, and so on, right? Yes, so it's helped a lot.
So there are other courses available with BIT. Once you're finished with this one, are you likely to probably get into agro processing or garment construction or any of the other courses?
Well, yes, sure, I would like to do that. Yes.
Do you feel happy that you don't have to actually travel out to Letem to take this course?
Yes, I do. It came into the village, and very thankful that it is right here in my home.
So Cynthia, tell me about your agro processing course through the BIT program.
Well, the agro processing course through the BIT program, it is very good because we have learned a lot, and it really save our produce from going bad. All right, and we can use it later. Then it's for later use.
So tell me a little bit about the process of agro processing. Actually, how do you preserve whatever you're preserving?
Okay, well, the process of agro processing, right? For the for the wet products, we use the blender and the vinegar as a preservative with the sodium. And for the porridge mix, what we're making, we use the sun as the dryer.
So when you're finished with this course, what else is on the cards for you?
Well, we're trying to invest in some monies, and then we can go to a business. We'll start a business then. That's what we're.
So you spoke about wet and dry processing processes. What are some of the wet things besides pepper and that kind of thing?
We do garlic, and we do the shallot, which is the seasoning. We get a thyme. What else we do? We also do the mango, the green mango, with the peppers. All right.
And in terms of dry, what kind of? I'm thinking what cassava.
We got all the ground provision. We got yam, edo, sweet potato, sweet cassava, and there's we try plantain, green plantain. That's what we try for the flour.
Government is trying to put a cold storage facility at the Lethem airport. So produce that probably comes out from Nappi could be stored and not perish if it is left for a prolonged period of time. Do you think that's a good initiative?
Yes, that is a very good initiative at some extent. What we have been doing and what the BIT program has been doing is, and that was one of the things that came into the community, and during the ministerial visit we have been pleading with the government, and it has been bearing fruit. That is the reason why the agro processing is so important for us, so that when we spoke about spoilage of fruits, perishable fruits and stuff like that, we said, okay, we will go into agro processing, so that we not only that we will sell the produce to Lethem, because sometimes we carry produce to Lethem and sometimes we don't sell it because we have a competition that is just across the border, right? So we have goods coming there. So this is one of the things that will help us. And so what we're doing here, the village council will have to create that business environment, all right? So that, all farmers can have the business-minded kind of thing, so that, it depends on the supply and the demand, the price, which is a critical thing for any project to be sustainable, right? Apart, you said just now about having the cold storage and those kind of facility in Lethem. I think that is a very good thing, and I mean, if you are going ahead with that, that is a very good that the government is taking on, and it will be a very important industry as relates to agriculture.
Tell me what this has been like since school has reopened, since the pandemic closure, student turnout.
Okay. Since the reopening of schools in last year, November, for grades 10 and 11, those were the only classes that we turned out with. After a while, we realized that our children were missing out on classes. So we decided to have classes on a rotational basis, while at the same time the worksheet engagement was also being distributed. But if we were using the worksheet engagement alone and asking the children to work it out by themselves at home, it was as if we were not doing anything, because they needed guidance. They needed the teacher's intervention. So we decided that we were going to bring them out at least once per week, class by class, and that is how we turned out to school in the primary from grades 1 to grades 9. However, grades 10 and 11 came to school every day.
There is, I went into the primary school, 6 high definition televisions, The Ministry of Education has been trying to fight the learning loss due to COVID and school closures. What would having the Guyana Learning Channel content available to the young people in your community do for this community?
Well, on the education part of it, we are trying our best, and I understand that the ministry on their part have already been doing their best also, so as to have schools having their lessons as usual. But as for now, the learning channel needs a little bit more improvement as to have the children access to whatever is happening throughout the country, and so that will be also given to the children at this primary school, also the nursery school.
Tell me a little bit about agriculture and stuff in this community.
Well, the agriculture also this is a critical and a very important industry for us, because this community depends on majority of us are farmers here, all right, and so we've been try to look to mitigate the climate and this stuff kind of thing. So we have a tractor that is still with us. John, the tractor that has been doing a lot of work in this community, has been plowing some land. So we have some areas under cultivation. With the help of the tractor, we in the savannas, that is, right? And also the persons have do a little bit of slash and burn agriculture. So that is how we were able to, and with the help of the other programs that came in later on, we had the COVID grant and all these things. That help us a lot. They help to, get the farmers utilize their time and get them busy, and so that they can have produce, and so that the food security in the community was intact.
Recently, they commissioned a new CDC bond. Did you guys experience a lot of flooding here during that rainy period?
For the past last year, yes, indeed, we had some amount of flooding. It was severe loss to the farmers. Some of them couldn't get to their farms, and we'll have to depend on other farmers that can make our local produce available, getting our food stuff like cassava bread and just byproducts of cassava, right? And so CDC in the event has done much. They have been sending some stuff to this village, and that helped a lot. Yes, all those under mandated by the CDC, all those little stuff that were sent in was a very help to all the farmers. The whole community at large benefited.
The Kanuku Mountains are now a part of a protected area, and the village is keen to tap into the Protected Areas Fund. A key part is the preparation of a 10-year plan, which they have done, and which covers infrastructure and education, among others.